Reproduction is the production of young ones like parents. Reproduction is an essential process as it leads to continuation of species as well as to maintain the continuity of life. Each organism has its own particular method of reproduction. All these methods generally fall into two categories: asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. 1.1 Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction does not involve fusion of two compatible gametes or sex cells. It is the process resulting in the production of genetically identical progeny from a single organism and inherits the genes of the parent. Such morphologically and genetically identical individuals are called clones. Organisms choose to reproduce asexually by different modes or ways. Fragmentation. Multicellular organisms can break into fragments due to one or the other reasons, for example, Spirogyra. These fragments grow into new individuals. Budding. It is the most common method of asexual reproduction in unicellular yeast. Usually, it takes place during favorable conditions by producing one or more outgrowths, buds. These buds on separation develop into new individual. Spore formation. In Chlamydomonas, asexual reproduction occurs by flagellated, motile zoospores which can grow independently into new individuals. Other methods of asexual reproduction include binary fission, which occurs in amoeba, paramecium, conidia formation in penicillium, and gemmules formation in sponges. Vegetative reproduction. Plants reproduce asexually through their vegetative paths, hence the new plants formed are genetically identical to their parents. There are also few methods which would not occur naturally in the plants. Agriculture and horticulture exploit vegetative reproduction in order to multiply fresh stocks of plants. Artificial methods are used to propagate desired varieties according to human requirements. The various methods are as follows. Cutting. The small piece of any vegetative part of a plant having one or more buds is used for propagation, viz. Stem cutting, example rose bougainvillea; leaf cutting, example sansevieria; root cutting, example blackberry. Grafting. Here parts of two plants are joined in such a way that they grow as one plant. In this method, part of the stem containing more than one bud, scion, is joined onto a rooted plant called stalk, is called grafting, whereas budding is also called bud grafting, in which only one bud is joined on the stalk, example apple, pear, rose, etc. Tissue culture. It is a method by which a small amount of plant tissue is carefully grown to give many plantlets. Micropropagation method is also used nowadays. 1.2 Sexual reproduction. It involves fusion of two compatible gametes or sex cells. All organisms reach to the maturity in their life before they can reproduce sexually. In plants, the end of juvenile or vegetative phase marks the beginning of the reproductive phase and can be seen easily in the higher plants at the time of flowering. The flower is the specialized reproductive structure of a plant in which sexual reproduction takes place. The function of flower is to produce haploid gametes and to ensure that fertilization will take place. Typical flower consists of four different whorls, viz. Calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Sexual reproduction involves two major events, viz. Meiosis and fusion of gametes to form diploid zygote and the production of genetically dissimilar offsprings. Variations are useful from the point of view of the survival and the evolution of species over the time. Sexual reproduction is characterized by fusion of the male and female gametes, that is fertilization, the formation of zygote and embryogenesis. Sequential events that occur in sexual reproduction are grouped into three distinct stages, viz. Pre-fertilization, fertilization, and the post-fertilization.
The male reproductive whorl of flower is called androecium. Individual member of androecium is called stamen. Stamen consists of filament, connective, and anther. Structure of anther. An immature stage of anther is represented by a group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by single-layered epidermis. Anther is generally diathecous, that is, having two lobes, and tetrasporangiate. Each monothecous anther contains two pollen sacs. In diathecous anther, four pollen sacs are present. Therefore, it is tetrasporangiate. The heterogeneity or differentiation arises when some hypodermal cells get transformed into archisporial cells. TS of anther. The archisporial cell divides into an inner sporogenous cell and outer primary parietal cell. Sporogenous cell forms sporogenous tissue. Each cell of sporogenous tissue is capable of giving rise to a microspore tetrad. Parietal cell undergoes divisions to form anther wall layers. The wall of mature anther consists of four layers. Epidermis is the outermost protective layer made up of tabular, that is, flattened cells. Endothecium is subepidermal layer made up of radially elongated cells with fibrous thickenings. Inner to endothecium is middle layer made up of thin-walled cells, that is 1 to 2 layered, which may disintegrate in mature anther. Tapetum is the innermost nutritive layer of anther wall. It immediately encloses the sporogenous tissue, microspore mother cells. 1.3 Microsporogenesis. Each microspore mother cell divides meiotically to form tetrad of haploid microspores, that is, pollen grains. Structure of microspore. Typical pollen grain is a non-motile, haploid, unicellular body with single nucleus. It is surrounded by a two-layered wall called sporoderm. The outer layer exine is thick and made up of complex, non-biodegradable substance called sporopollenin. It may be smooth or with a sculpted pattern characteristic of the species. It is resistant to chemicals. At some places, exine is very thin, showing thin areas known as germ pores. These are meant for the growth of emerging pollen tube during germination of pollen grain. The inner wall layer, intine, consists of cellulose and pectin. Development of male gametophyte. Pollen grain marks the beginning of male gametophyte. It undergoes first mitotic division to produce bigger, naked vegetative cell and small, thin-walled generative cell. The vegetative cell is rich in food and having irregular shaped nucleus. The generative cell floats in the cytoplasm of vegetative cell. The second mitotic division is concerned with generative cell only and gives rise to two non-motile male gametes. The mitotic division of generative cell takes place either in pollen grain or in the pollen tube. The pollen grains are shed from the anther at this two-celled stage in most of the angiosperms. Female reproductive whorl of flower is gynoecium, that is, pistil. Individual member of gynoecium is called carpel or megasporophyll. A typical carpel has three parts, that is, ovary, style, and stigma. The number of ovules in the ovary varies. For example, paddy, wheat, and mango are uniovulate, whereas tomato and lady's finger are multiovulate. 1.4 Structure of anatropous ovule. Each ovule develops inside the ovary and is attached to the placenta by a small stalk called funiculus. The place of attachment of funiculus with the main body of ovule is called hilum. In angiosperms, The most common type of ovule is anatropous, in which micropyle is directed downwards and is present adjacent to the funiculus. The ovule consists of central parenchymatous tissue, the nucellus, which is surrounded usually by two protective coverings called integuments, viz., outer and an inner integument. A narrow opening at the apex of the ovule is called micropyle. Chalaza is the base of ovule directly opposite to micropyle. Embryo sac or female gametophyte is oval multicellular structure embedded in the nucellus.
1.6 Megasporogenesis. It is a process of formation of haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell MMC. Megaspore mother cell becomes distinguished in the nucellus, more or less in the center but towards micropylar end of ovule. Development of female gametophyte. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form linear tetrad of haploid cells, that is megaspore. Upper 3 megaspores abort and lowest one towards center of nucellus remains functional. It acts as the first cell of female gametophyte. Generally, 1 megaspore towards center is functional megaspore. It is in fact the first cell of female gametophyte. It undergoes 3 successive, free nuclear mitotic divisions. Thus total 8 nuclei are formed, 4 of which are located at each pole. 1 nucleus from each pole migrates towards the center and are called polar nuclei. 3 nuclei towards micropylar end constitute egg apparatus. It consists of large central haploid egg cell and 2 supporting haploid synergid cells. Synergid shows hair-like projections called filiform apparatus which guide the pollen tube towards the egg. Antipodal cells are group of 3 cells present at the chalazal end. The 2 haploid polar nuclei of large central cell fuse to form diploid secondary nucleus or definitive nucleus just prior to fertilization. This 7-celled and 8-nucleated structure is called an embryo sac. This method of embryo sac development from a single megaspore is described as monosporic development. In angiosperms, the development of female gametophyte is endosporous, that is within the megaspore. Female gametophyte is colorless endosporic and is concealed in the ovule, enclosed by the ovary. 1.6 Pollination. Pollen grains being non-motile, angiosperms have evolved the strategy to use abiotic agents, wind, water, and biotic agents, birds, insects, snails, to their flowers, feeding the visitors and exploiting their mobility for pollination and also seed dispersal. Pollen grains are non-motile and they are usually carried from flower to flower by means of external agents. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower. It is the prerequisite for fertilization because both the male and female gametes are non-motile. Moreover, gametes are produced at 2 different sites. Self-pollination is a type of pollination which occurs in a single flower or 2 flowers on a single plant. It results in inbreeding or selfing. In contrast, cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of different plants of same species. Pollination can be further divided into 3 types on the basis of source of pollination. A. Autogamy or self-pollination. It is a type of pollination in which a bisexual flower is pollinated by its own pollen grains. Offsprings are genetically identical to their parents, example P. B. Geitonogamy. It is the transfer of pollen grain to a stigma of a different flower produced on the same plant. It is functionally similar to cross-pollination as it involves pollinating agents, but it cannot bring about genetic variations and is only of ecological significance, example Cucurbita maxima. It is similar to antogamy as pollen grains come from same plant. C. Xenogamy or cross-pollination or outbreeding. It is a type of cross-pollination when pollen grain of one flower is deposited on the stigma of a flower of different plant belonging to same species with the help of pollinating agency. It generates genetically varied offsprings. Majority of flowering plants depend on the transfer of pollen grains. Virtually all seed plants need to be pollinated. Most of the food and fiber crops grown throughout the world depend upon pollinators for reproduction. The agents responsible for pollination have been grouped into 2 main categories. A. Abiotic agents. B. Biotic agents. Abiotic agents. These are non-living agents which include wind and water. 1.
Pollination by wind anemophily. Most of the important crop plants are wind pollinated. These include wheat, rice, corn, rye, barley, and oats. Palms are also wind pollinated. Adaptations in anemophilous flowers. The flowers are small, inconspicuous, colorless, without nectar and fragrance or odor. The pollen grains are light in weight, dry, and produced in large numbers to increase chances of pollination, considering wastage of pollen grains. Stigma is feathery to trap pollens carried by wind currents.
2. Pollination by water, hydrophily. Found only in some 30 genera of aquatic monocots, example, Vallisneria, Zostera, Ceratophyllum, etc. Adaptations in hydrophilous flowers. Flowers are small and inconspicuous. Perianth and other floral parts are unwettable. Pollen grains are long and unwettable due to presence of mucilage. Nectar and fragrance are lacking in flowers. Hydrophily is of two types. Hypohydrophily. Pollination occurs below the surface of water. Here the pollen grains are heavier than water, sink down and caught by stigmas of female flowers. Example, in Zostera, seagrass, the pollen grains are long, ribbon-like and without exine. Epihydrophily. The pollen grains float on the water surface and reach the stigma of female flower. Example, Vallisneria is a submerged, dioecious, freshwater aquatic plant in which female flowers reach the water surface temporarily to ensure pollination and male flowers float on the surface of water. Specific gravity of pollen grain is equal to that of water, that is why they float on surface of water. Some aquatic plants are anemophilous, example, Potamogeton, Halogaris, etc. Some aquatic plants are entomophilous, example, lotus, water hyacinth, water lily, etc. B. Biotic agents. It includes living agents. About 80% of plants require the help of other living moving creatures such as insects, birds, bats, snails to transfer their pollens from one flower to another. These also sustain our ecosystems and produce natural resources by helping plants to reproduce. 1. Pollination by insects, entomophily. It occurs in rose, jasmine, cestrum, etc. Adaptations in entomophilous flowers. They are large, showing, and often brightly colored. The flowers produce sweet odor and have nectar glands. The stigma is rough due to presence of hair or is sticky due to mucilaginous secretion. The pollen grains are spiny and surrounded by a yellow sticky substance called pollen kit. Some plants have special adaptations for the insect visitor to help in cross-pollination. Example, lever mechanism or turnpike mechanism in salvia. 2. Pollination by birds or ornithophy. Only a few types of birds are specialized for pollination. They usually have small size and long beaks. Example, sunbirds and hummingbirds. Some ornithophilous plants are bombax, callistemon, bottlebrush, butea, etc. Adaptations in ornithophilous flowers. Flowers are usually brightly colored, large and showy. They secrete profuse dilute nectar. Pollen grains are sticky and spiny. Flowers are generally without fragrance as birds have poor sense of smell. 3. Pollination by bats, Chiropterophily. Bats can transport pollens over long distances, sometimes several kilometers. Adaptations in Chiropterophilous flowers. Flowers are dull-colored with strong fragrance. They secrete abundant nectar. Flowers produce large amount of edible pollen grains. Example, Anthocephalus kadam tree, Adansonia baobab tree, Kigelia sausage tree. 1.7. Outbreeding devices, contrivances. Many plants have mechanisms that discourage or prevent self-pollination. To promote cross-pollination and increase genetic diversity, plants have evolved a wide variety of sexual strategies. Genetic diversity is an essential factor for evolution by natural selection. Continued self-pollination results in inbreeding depression. Thus, plants have developed many devices to encourage cross-pollination. The examples of outbreeding devices are as follows. Unisexuality. In this case, the plant bears either male or female flowers. It is also called as diism. As flowers are unisexual, self-pollination is not possible. Plants may be monoecious, for example, maize, or dioecious, for example, mulberry, papaya. Dichogamy. In this device, anther and stigma mature at different times in a bisexual flower so as to prevent self-pollination. It can be further divided into two types. 1. Protandry. In this type, androecium matures earlier than the gynoecium, for example, in the disc florets of sunflower. 2. Protogyny. In this type, Gynoecium matures earlier than the androecium, for example, gloriosa. Prepotency. Pollen grains of other flowers germinate rapidly over the stigma than the pollen grains from the same flower, for example, apple. Heterostyly or heteromorphy. In some plants like primula, primrose, there are 2 or 3 forms or types of flowers in which stigmas and anthers are placed at different levels, heterostyly and heteroanthy. This prevents the pollens from reaching the stigma and pollinating it. In heteromorphic flowers, pollen grains produced from anther pollinate stigmas produced at the seam level. Hercogamy. It is a mechanical device to prevent self-pollination in a bisexual flower. In plants, natural physical barrier is present between 2 sex organs and avoid contact of pollen with stigma of same flower, for example, Calotropis. Pentangular stigma is positioned above the level of anthers, pollinia. Self-incompatibility. This is a genetic mechanism due to which the germination of pollen on stigma of the same flower is inhibited. For example, tobacco, thea. 1.8. Pollen-pistil interaction. It is the interaction of pollen grains with sporophytic tissue, stigma. It begins with pollination and ends with fertilization. All the events from the deposition of pollen grain on stigma to the entry of the pollen tube in the ovule, synergid, are referred as pollen-pistil interaction. Pollination does not guarantee the transfer of right type of pollen, often wrong type also land on stigma. The pistil has the ability to recognize and accept the right or compatible pollen of the same species. Thus, wrong type of pollen is discarded by the pistil. Compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen pistil is determined by special proteins. This process involves pollen recognition followed by promotion or inhibition of pollen. The stigmatic surface of flower refuse the other wrong type or incompatible pollen grains. A physiological mechanism operates to ensure that only intraspecific pollen germinates successfully. The compatible pollen absorbs water and nutrients from the surface of the stigma, germinates and produces pollen tube. Its growth through the style is determined by specific chemicals. The stigmatic surface provides the essential prerequisites for a successful germination, which are absent in the pollen. The pollen tube is finally pushed through the ovule and reaches the embryo sac. The tip of the pollen tube enters in one of the synergids and then ruptures to release the contents. Due to pollen-pistil interaction, intense competition develops even in the compatible pollen grains. It also plays an important role in sexual reproduction and seed formation. Pollen grain can also be induced to germinate in a synthetic medium. Sucrose induces pollen germination and tube growth in vitro. Addition of boric acid facilitates and accelerates pollen germination. Artificial hybridization. It is one of the major approaches used in the crop improvement. Only the desired
Indian accent. Pollen grains are hand-pollinated and used for fertilization. This is accomplished through emasculation and bagging procedure. 1.9. Double fertilization. Double fertilization is a complex fertilization mechanism in flowering angiospermic plants. It was discovered by Navaschin in the liliaceous plants like Lilium and Fritillaria. After a pollen grain has reached the surface of the stigma, it germinates and forms a pollen tube which penetrates the stigma, style, ovary chamber and then enters ovule. The growth of pollen tube is guided by the chemical secreted by the synergids. It usually enters ovule through the micropyle. It is termed as porogamy. But in some cases it is found to enter through chalaza, known as chalazogamy, and in some plants by piercing the integuments, called mesogamy. Finally, it penetrates embryo sac of ovule through its micropylar end. The pollen tube carrying male gametes penetrates in one of the synergids. Watery contents of synergid are absorbed by pollen tube, which then ruptures and release the contents, including the 2 non-motile male gametes. Since non-motile male gametes are carried through hollow pollen tube, it is known as siphonogamy that ensures fertilization to take place. Syngamy and triple fusion are two events of sexual reproduction in angiospermic flowering plants. Syngamy is the fusion of haploid male gamete with haploid female gamete egg to produce a diploid zygote, whereas in triple fusion, second haploid male gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus producing primary endosperm nucleus (PEN) that develops into triploid endosperm. The zygote develops into an embryo. Syngamy is a type of generative fertilization, whereas triple fusion is a type of vegetative fertilization. Here both the male gametes participate and therefore it is described as or called double fertilization. Significance of double fertilization. 1. It is a unique feature of angiosperms. It ensures that the parent plant invests a seed with a food store only if the egg is fertilized. 2. The diploid zygote develops into an embryo, which consequently develops into a new plant. 3. The triploid pen develops into nutritive endosperm tissue. 4. It restores the diploid condition by fusion of haploid male gamete with haploid female gamete, that is through syngamy. It also helps to avoid polyembryony. Development of endosperm. The triploid primary endospermic nucleus repeatedly divides mitotically to form nutritive tissue called endosperm. In post-fertilization changes, within the ovule the embryo and endosperm are seen to develop simultaneously. The other cells of embryo sac disorganize sooner or later. The formation of triploid endosperm nucleus triggers cell division which leads to the formation of endosperm. There are three types of endosperms on the basis of mode of development. These are 1. Nuclear type, 2. Cellular type, 3. Halobial type. A. Nuclear type. It is the most common type found in 161 angiospermic families. Here, the primary endospermic nucleus repeatedly divides mitotically without wall formation to produce large number of free nuclei. A big central vacuole appears in the center of cell, pushing the nuclei towards the periphery. Later, walls develop between the nuclei, hence multicellular endosperm is formed. But in several cases, cell wall formation remains incomplete, e.g. wheat, sunflower and coconut. Coconut has multicellular endosperm in the outer part and free nuclear as well as vacuolated endosperm in the center. B. Cellular type. In some plants, division of triploid primary endospermic nucleus is immediately followed by wall formation, so that the endosperm is cellular right from the beginning. It is mostly observed in 72 families of dicots, as in members Balsam, Petunia, Adoxa, etc. C. Halobial type. It occurs in the order Halobials of monocotyledons. In this case, first division of primary endospermic nucleus is followed by a transverse wall which divides the cell unequally. The smaller cell is called chalazal cell and the larger cell is the micropylar cell. Then the nuclei in each cell divide by free nuclear divisions and then walls develop between nuclei in micropylar chamber. It is intermediate between cellular and nuclear type endosperm, e.g. asphodelis. Mosaic endosperm. Endosperm containing tissues of two different types is called mosaic endosperm. In plants like corn, the endosperm contains patches of two different colors. It forms a sort of mosaic pattern. Development of embryo. The process of development of zygote into an embryo is called embryogenesis. The embryo is developed at the micropylar end of embryo sac. The growth of embryo triggers only
After fertilization, the embryonic development begins. The zygote divides to form two-celled pro-embryo. The larger cell towards the micropyle is called basal or suspensor initial cell and smaller cell towards chalaza is called terminal or embryonal initial cell. The suspensor cell divides transversely in one plane to produce filamentous suspensor of 6 to 10 cells. The first cell of the suspensor towards the micropylar end becomes swollen and function as a haustorium. The lowermost cell of suspensor is known as hypophysis. The suspensor helps in pushing the embryo in the endosperm. The embryonal initial undergoes 3 successive mitotic divisions to form octant. The planes of divisions are at right angles to each other. The lower tier of 4 cells of octant give rise to hypocotyle and radicle, whereas 4 cells of upper tier form the plumule and the 1 or 2 cotyledons. The hypophysis by further division gives rise to the part of radicle and root cap. Subsequently, the cells in the upper tier of octant divide in several planes so as to become heart-shaped, which then forms 2 lateral cotyledons and a terminal plumule. Further enlargement of hypopotyle and cotyledons result in the curvature of embryo and it appears horseshoe-shaped. The embryo development is similar in both dicots and monocots up to the octant stage. The difference appears later. In monocot embryo, single cotyledon occupies terminal position and plumule is lateral. The single shield-shaped cotyledon is called as scutellum. The protective sheath of plumule is called coleoptile and that of radicle is coleorhiza. Finally, ovule is transformed into the seed and ovary into the fruit. 1.12 Seed and fruit development. The goal of reproduction in every living organism, including plants, is to create offsprings for the next generation. One of the ways that plants can produce offsprings is by making seeds. The flowers must be pollinated in order to produce seeds and fruit. Seed development is initiated by fertilization. The integuments of the fertilized ovule persist and get transformed into the seed coat of mature seed. Seed sometimes consists of 2 distinct coverings, a typical outer seed coat, the testa, and the inner thin membranous tegmen. The nucellus in the ovule may persist in some genera like black pepper and beet as a thin papery layer, the perisperm. In some seeds, the food reserves in the endosperm are partially used up in the development of an embryo. Obviously, in such seeds, the endosperm remains conspicuous and fills a greater part of the seed. Thus, the resultant seed is endospermic or albuminous, example, castor, coconut, maize, etc. In other seeds, the embryo absorbs food reserves from the endosperm completely during its developmental stages. Thus, the endosperm disappears, disorganizes in mature seed. The resultant seed is non-endospermic or exalbuminous, example, pea, bean, etc. The cotyledons in some non-endospermic seeds act as a food storage and in others they are the first photosynthetic organs. Micropyle persists as a small pore in seed coat to allow the entry of water and oxygen during soaking. Fruit development is triggered by hormones produced by developing seeds. As mentioned earlier, after fertilization, the zygote is formed and the ovary begins to differentiate into the fruit and ovary wall develops into pericarp. Pericarp is basically 3-layered which get differentiated in the fleshy fruit like mango, coconut, etc.
Significance of seed and fruit formation. Fruits provide nourishment to the developing seeds. Fruits protect the seeds in immature condition. Seeds serve as important propagating organs, units of plant. Seeds and fruits develop special devices for their dispersal and thus help in the distribution of the species. Dormancy is a state of metabolic arrest that facilitates the survival of organisms during adverse environmental conditions. Structural or physiological adaptive mechanism for survival is called dormancy. Mature and viable seeds will not germinate even in the presence of favorable conditions, and they are dispersed at different places during dormancy. Viable seeds germinate only after completion of dormancy period. 1.13 Apomixis. It is phenomenon of formation of embryos through asexual method of reproduction without formation of gametes and the act of fertilization. Alternatively, it is unusual sexual reproduction where there is no meiosis and syngamy. Embryo develops in the ovule and ovule develops to form seed. In apomixis, when a gametophyte organ or cell produces embryo-like structure without fertilization, it is termed as apogamy. Similarly, when diploid sporophyte cell produces a diploid gametophyte without undergoing meiosis, is called apospory, for example, orange, mango. The main categories of apomixis are A. Recurrent apomixis. In this type, the embryo sac generally rise either from an archisporial cell or from some other part of the nucellus. In diplospory, the unreduced embryo sac is derived from the diploid megaspore mother cell, for example, Pterojaxum. In apospory, the nucellar cells give rise to apomictic embryo sac. B. Non-recurrent apomixis. In this type, megaspore mother cell undergoes usual meiotic division and a haploid embryo sac is formed. Here, the embryo arises either from the egg by parthenogenesis or from some other haploid cells of gametophyte through apogamy. Plants produced by this method are generally sterile and do not reproduce sexually. For example, Nicotiana.
Adventive embryony. In this type, embryos may develop from somatic nucellus or integuments along with normal zygotic embryo. It is common in mango, orange, lemon, etc. It gives rise to a condition called polyembryony. Genetically identical plants can be produced effectively and rapidly by apomixis. 1.14. Parthenocarpy. This term is coined by Knoll, 1902. It is the condition in which fruit is developed without the process of fertilization. It occurs naturally in some varieties of pineapple, banana, papaya, etc. In these plants, it seems that the placental tissue in the unfertilized ovary produces auxin IAA, indole 3-acetic acid, which is responsible for enlargement of ovary into fruit. The fruit resembles the normally produced fruit, but it is seedless. 1.15. Polyembryony. It is the development of more than one embryos inside the seed, and the condition is described as polyembryony. It was first noticed by Leeuwenhoek in 1719 in the seeds of Citrus genus. It is the occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed, which consequently results in the emergence of multiple seedlings. The additional embryos result from the differentiation and development of various maternal and zygotic tissues associated with the ovule of seed. Polyembryony may be true or false depending upon whether many embryos arise in the same embryo sac or in different embryo sacs in the same ovule. In adventive polyembryony, an embryo developed directly from the diploid cell of nucellus and integuments, as in citrus. In cleavage polyembryony, zygote proembryo sometimes divides, cleaves into many parts or units. Each unit then develops into an embryo. Polyembryony increases the chances of survival of the new plants. Nucellar adventive polyembryony is of great significance in horticulture.